everybody, how are you doing? Day 4, are you ready? How were the last 3 days? That was our little section on focusing on ourselves. Now we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty of the foundation. So we're gonna talk about a couple things that are like basic Instagram and why they matter. So if you feel like you already have a really great handle on Instagram, some of this may be repeat for you, but I promise that hearing it again will help. So let's talk about the main kinds of content and what we should actually use them for. So we have posts, which are in the feed when people are just scrolling, that's what they see, right? We have reels, which are different than videos, which are a whole feature that Instagram is really pushing right now. So people go into the reels section and it's just video after video after video. This is kind of where people get lost in the scroll. And then we have video posts, which are still in the posts section, but are videos, which can be either landscape or portrait, doesn't matter. And we also have stories. So stories, as you know, are at the top. You can see the little bubbles of everybody and you can click and you can see what people are up to. So why does Instagram have so many kinds of content and what are we gonna actually use them for? So Instagram wants people to stay on the app. That's the whole point, right? Then they get more eyeballs in front of their advertisers and that's how they make money. You might think, oh, those slimy guys, what buggers. No, we're not. We're gonna work with them instead of against them. Because in reality, they're giving us a free platform to promote our businesses. So thank you, Instagram. Let's work together, not against each other. Okay? That's a hard shift, I know. Especially after everybody watched The Social Dilemma. It's okay. So, posts, let's start with those. Posts is where I'm gonna put the meat and potatoes, the important basics of your business. So posts are the things that people are gonna see if they search you, they find you, they're gonna look back through your feed. This is where you're building your foundation. So things that matter to you, products you sell, services you sell. This is where you really keep your aesthetic. It doesn't have to be perfect, but this is, if I click on your profile and I look, this is what's gonna show up. Is these posts. So we want them to be on brand. They don't have to be perfect. Again, remember we threw perfect away, but they have to be on brand in your messaging and how they look. So if 99% of your posts are dark and moody and then you have one bright pink thing, it's gonna confuse people. And that's fine, you can change. You're always allowed to change your mind. But just stick with kind of a theme, I would say. And also, you're gonna say your message over and over. You might think, oh my gosh, people are so sick of hearing this. They're not. I promise. People have the attention span of a squirrel. You gotta say your thing over and over and over again. I think, personally, you need to, at least twice a week, have a post that is a foundation part of your business. So again, an ideal that's important to your business, how you do things, and what you offer. Something in those categories every single week in your posts. These are the things that stick around and the things that people come back to. Now, next we're gonna talk about Reels. Reels are super trendy and a whole bunch of people are in full panic mode because they're like, I can't dance on TikTok, what am I gonna do? It's fine, you don't have to dance. And you don't have to look like a complete idiot either. I choose to because I think it's hilarious and I really like putting myself out there because now I've realized it's one of my sparkly traits. You don't have to. That's right, I'm not gonna make you dance. But I think you do have to make reels. Yikes, are you scared of that? It's okay, it's okay. I'm going to, in the email, link a bunch of examples that are face showing and some that are product showing. And no, I don't think if you have a product business, you can only show your products. Like I said before, everybody else is selling similar things to you. You gotta show them what matters to you and who you are so that they can buy from you, not the product, right? If they just want the product, they could go to Amazon. Ouch, but true. Same with services, right? Could they go on YouTube and figure things out? Could you have gone on YouTube and found literally all of these things? Yes. I am not saying anything that is 1000% never been heard before because nothing ever has. But you trust me to put together all the things I've learned all over the universe and make them into a thing that you can actually use, right? And that's what people are doing with you. They're trusting you to make or do or all the things, whatever kind of industry you're in, It's happening because you put it together. Okay? So if you're scared to show yourself, I get it. It might be scary. But I promise you can find a way that doesn't feel icky. If it means starting small, fine. What I really like to do is something where I show my face for the first bit and then I go to products or something like that. You can work into it. But the thing with Reels, like we said before, remember how I said that's where people get lost in the scroll? It has to be eye-catching because people do get lost in that. That's where like zombie mode goes in and people are like, video after video, cute dog, cute couple, people on the beach, cute dog. So it has to stand out. What you're trying to do is stop the scroll so people look at your caption. So why do you want people to read your caption? It's just a reel. Loophole. When people are reading your caption, your reel keeps playing in the background. And what does Instagram want on Reels? Views. They don't care as much about comments or likes. What they want is views. What makes a reel viral is how many times it's viewed. So in your Reels, make sure you're encouraging people to read the caption. You can literally put, in lots of my Reels I do that. I write, read the caption, and then the little pointy finger. So you want people to read the caption. Make sure you're putting content that actually matters in your caption, because as people are sitting there reading it, A, they're learning about your business, and B, they're watching it again and again and again, and that's getting you more Reels, or more views on your Reel. Right? We don't have to be perfect. So that's super important. The other place where Reels actually, the views count is stories. So this is an important thing. Always share your Reels to your stories, because if somebody only watches it in your story, it still counts as a view. So why do we want so many eyeballs on our stuff? Because the more times it gets viewed, the more Instagram pushes it to the top of people's suggested feeds. People don't have to be following you to see your Reels. What they're going to see your Reels, if they're not following you, is based on if it's close to something that they like. So this is when keywords come in. You might think, keywords, SEO, this isn't a website, this is Instagram. Womp womp. Sorry, it's true. So the other reason that your caption is super important is because that's where keywords are, and that's where Instagram is pulling the information. If Susie likes this post, she's gonna also like this post. That's where you're putting that information. So what kind of things are you gonna say? You're going to mention what you do. You're going to say photography, videography, leggings, paintings, yoga, plant mom, self-help, coaching, all those big buzzwords. You're going to work them into your captions every single time. Annoying, I know. It's okay. Write them on a little sticky note. Just remind yourself to put them in there. You can find a way to make it nice. Right? I can be like, the reason I love being a videographer in Calgary is, right? Look at all those keywords. Boom, boom, boom. And now it's going to suggest things. So what we're doing is we're just giving information to Instagram that it can use to help us, right? We help them, they help us. It might feel overwhelming. It's okay. You can watch this video more than once. Take a lot of notes. It's important. I know. So then we're on to our last kind of content, and that is stories. So stories are fleeting. They're a blip, right? They're only 24 hours. You can save them as a highlight, but how often do people go through your highlights? Probably not super often. Maybe if they're searching for something. So I would say your meat and potatoes of your posts, super important. Your Reels, this is eye-catching, this is keywords, this is where we're like putting out our flashiest stuff. Our stories is where we're going to share more behind the scenes. We're going to share more of our personality. We're going to share little blips throughout the day. And this is also if one of your core things is showing that not everything is perfect and the ups and downs of life. This is where you're going to share it. So I like to do this in a way that, you know, shows that I'm a real human and it's okay to be vulnerable, etc., blah, 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 in my stories, because that's, you know, up, down, my day today. But my posts and my Reels, those are constant. Those stick to my values no matter what I'm feeling. That's why I like to batch content for Reels and for posts, but not for stories, because stories for me feels like it should be more in the moment, because it's only 24 hours, they can see it and then it's gone. This is where you're gonna really build some kind of background connection with people, where they get to see a little bit what your life is like, or a little bit what you're like, or your less polished stuff, so that they get to feel like they get to know the real you. You know, when you meet somebody, say, you know, another parent at pickup or something like that, and you see them pretty often, they look so dressed up and nice after work, but then one time they show up in their sweats and they like actually talk to you and you're like, oh, they're a real person. Who knew? That's kind of what we're going for with stories. We want them to really show our personalities. They don't have to be perfect, and they're just little reminders, right? You still want to talk about what you do, who you are, all that stuff, but they're little reminders of things you posted, little reminders of what you're doing, little reminders of how you do it, over and over again, just boop, 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 little things. So should you post all of your reels and your posts to your stories? Yes. And it doesn't have to be only on the day you post them. What's stopping you from reposting your favorite reel once a week on your stories? Literally nothing. The great thing about reels is they have a longer timeline. I find that within the first 2 weeks of them being up is when they start to gain traction. So I might have a reel that only gets, 500 views on the first day, but then a week later, all of a sudden it's racking up views. And that's just how Instagram is throwing stuff out there, right? So I would say with your posts, it's more important to get some comments right away. With your stories, obviously you want some interaction using little buttons and little stickers. So with stories, make sure that you're doing lots of little interactions because you only have 24 hours to make it work. For your reels, you have a little bit more time. So make sure the things that you're posting will make sense in 2 weeks. That's really all. Okay, so what are we gonna do today? Today we are gonna take one piece of content talking about either a service you offer, a product you offer, or how you do things, and you're gonna make it into all 3 different kinds of content. And this is gonna be very important for tomorrow, so make sure you do it earlier in the day is better. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna take one piece of content, you're gonna write a really good caption, you're gonna make it into a post, so a photo or video with an awesome caption writing about the important thing. You're gonna also make it into a reel, so you're gonna have either that exact same caption or very similar, talking about the exact same thing. So I don't want you to differ. I don't want you to be like, oh, I'll talk about one product here and one product here. No, same thing. We're gonna talk about the same thing on all 3. So the reel can either show the thing, it can be you talking about it, it can be just a trending sound and then read the caption, something like that. But again, I want it to be the exact same thing. And then you're also going to do a story. So not just sharing those 2 pieces of content, an actual story where you're writing text, you're showing pictures, you're talking about the same thing. You might think, oh my God, this is so weird. Why am I going to do the same thing 3 times? Because we're going to use it tomorrow. And it's going to be very important. And you might think, wow, people are going to get so annoyed. They won't. They won't, I promise. It's okay. You're allowed to say things more than once. Remember what we said about people having a really short attention span? It's true. Don't worry. So, homework for today. Same piece of content in 3 different ways. Again, as always, you're going to be tagging me at Westrose Media, and you're going to be using our hashtag #SparkTheCreative, and put it out there. I'm going to hype you up, and we're going to hype each other up. Okay? I can't wait to see what you do, and we're going to talk about it tomorrow.